at that point. What was it like in watching him as a teammate in that series?
He was not gonna let us lose. The way he prepared the whole year for it. He hated Miami. He hated LeBron, Wade, Bosh. He's never gonna say that, but he couldn't stand it. He, yeah, he got ready for it, man. And in that year, like even he don't talk much. Dirk, if you know him, like he leads by example. He don't lead by talking. But that year in timeouts, that year before the games, at halftime, he will talk and he will talk like loud and he'll point fingers and he was on one. Uh, yeah, no, he was special. He had a different mindset that year. He was tougher. He was driving the ball more for some reason. He was either pump faking and driving left. Uh, but when LeBron and Wade started making fun of him by cuffing when he got a little sick. I don't know if you remember that clip.
Oh, I forgot that happened. Yeah, I remember it now.
That clip really hurt him. That he will never say it, but he really saw the tape, and that tape really hurt him, and that gave him a little bit extra that he didn't need, but it gave him a little extra to finish him off.
That team was so interesting, by the way. Like with J Kidd
Yeah,
and Sean Marion, Tyson in his prime.
yeah,
It was a
the
perfect
team
group of guys.
Oh, it was perfect. You know how hard it is to win a championship, and how special you got to be. Everybody's got to be clicking at the right time. Deshaun Stevenson was crazy, but one of the best teammates ever, and he played awesome. J Kidd was at the end, but he was the guy that we needed to, he was shooting the three good. He was playing good defense, and then Jason Terry couldn't miss. Jason Terry he had 23, I think, at half in Game 6. Dirk struggled the first half in Game 6, and Jet had 23 at half. So it was, and Tyson was a beast. If you remember Tyson was a beast in defense.
Do you think even after the Lakers series that year that the Heat underestimated you? Like they just were not expecting you to do what you did?
I think so. Yeah, I for sure think so. I think they because they started Mike Bibby started guarding me, and Mark Bibby was done. He was old. He was slow by then. And then they put Chalmers on me. So then they started trying stuff. But at the beginning, yeah, they definitely weren't ready to guard the pick and roll.
When that offseason, I guess it was like 2 weeks later, because you guys, you play in the finals. It goes till the end of June. Were you expecting to come back, or did you get the sense that Mark wasn't necessarily going to break the bank for an older group of guys?
Man, I was a free agent, and I'm excited. I'm getting paid. And so I'm definitely thinking we're coming back. It's just me and Tyson. Me and Tyson were the free agents. That was it. So I'm coming back. I'm excited. I'm partying in Dallas. I'm partying in Puerto Rico. I'm breaking all the rules. Everything. And then I flew to Dallas, and this is when the lockout year.
Oh, that's right. It was the lockout year. You're right. So it was 6 months after the finals.
The lockout kind of messed with Mark Cuban's head a little bit, and I go to Dallas, to talk to Mark, to see what. And then he goes, JJ, and he was honest. He was like, I'm not going to sign nobody for more than 1 year. I know you deserve better. But the lockout is going to change the rules. It's going to change this. It's going to change that. I know you're going to have to go somewhere else. So hopefully you could come back. And that was it, man. Tyson went to Phoenix. I went to Minnesota. I had to. And that was it. And that was the end of Dallas.
I like that you said that you had to. I think this is an important point to make when we talk about athletes making decisions in free agency, because oftentimes we don't, if you're a max guy, you can generally choose exactly where you want to go for the exact amount. But for guys like us, we're weighing like 5 or 6 different things in any free agency decision we make. And sometimes the choice is made for us. And it's not like you were going to turn down that 4-year contract from Minnesota.
No.
So that loyalty thing that people talk about, it's most definitely a two-way street. And honestly, at least from my perspective, I'm sure you feel the same way about what Mark did. All you really want is transparency from your incumbent team.
Yeah, for sure. He was honest. He told me, you need to go somewhere else, and hopefully we could bring you back someday. And for me, I played 5 years in the NBA. I barely made $5 million in 5 years or $6 million in 5 years. So I played my best basketball ever. I fight my whole way to make it to the NBA. I'm 5'10". I never know when I'm going to get this opportunity again. I was like, I got to go take it. I got to go take 4 years. And then that's what we decided to do. And then we decided take the 4 years and we'll try to come back later on. And that's what happened.
Can you just talk about Mark a little bit as an owner, though? Because we had him on the podcast earlier this year. He, by and large, has a tremendous reputation amongst NBA players as a very player-friendly owner. And I know you can bring this up, but I know he's done some things for you and for Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. But can you just talk about that relationship and just what makes Mark so special as an owner?
First of all, Mark loves the NBA. His baby is the Dallas Mavericks. He'll die for any player. He'll do anything he can to make the Mavericks better. That's his passion. That's his baby. But I see Mark as my teammate. Like, I saw Mark as we partied, we battled, we had our up and downs basketball wise. I could text him, call him for anything. We talked about everything. He's one of the smartest guys I know. Always thinking about how to make people better, how to make the business better. But yeah, he's passionate. He loves the game, but he wants the players to treat him as a teammate. I treated him as he was my teammate. I didn't hide anything from him. I invited him to parties. We talked ball, we talked players, we talked everything, and it was super simple, man. Simple guy, just wants the best for his team.
JJ, what was your first impression of Luka?
When I saw Luka for the first time, he came to play pickup. We signed him, and then it was like 2 weeks before the season, and he came to play pickup with us. And I was like, this guy is huge. I say huge. I was like, this guy is huge. And I had to guard him playing pickup. And I was like, there's no way he's going by me. There's no way he's going by me. But for some reason, it's so long, so heavy, so strong that he was laying me up, like lay up here, lay up here. He was playing with us, passes behind the back. And I was like, oh, my God. But, yeah. It was. I knew the first day I saw him play pickup with us, he was treating us like he was playing with his boys in a pickup game. I was like, this kid got it. And then when I realized he practice, he was okay. Pickup games, he was okay. But when the lights were on and the TVs were on, he turned the lever up, and that's when I saw he was for real.
We talked about this in China. A couple of seasons ago. I think Luka had just been drafted. It was his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
When we were in China.
Yeah.
So you'd only seen him play, with the Mavs for a couple weeks. And I remember you saying to me, like, if this guy takes the game seriously, not in like a negative way, but if he takes the game seriously, he's going to be incredible. He's just that good. What did you sort of mean by that?
Well, he's still a kid, Jay. He's still chilling. I think he's still chilling. He's still growing. He still hasn't, in a good way, he still hasn't taken the next step, if you know what I mean. He's going to learn when he starts really training and really working and really like getting ready for the NBA. He's going to be a monster. Right now, he's still, he's a kid. He still thinks he could pull it off like this, And he's still getting better every year, but I think he's still a kid. When he becomes 24, 25, but he becomes a man, he's going to be a problem, a real problem. He loves the game. He loves his teammates. So he loves to compete against the best. He wants to compete against the best. So he's got all the things I think you need to be really great at basketball.
To a degree, we all are guilty of what you're talking about when we're in our early 20s. We think we can just get away with more. We can put whatever we want in our body and then go hoop the next day. It's not an issue, whatever. We can miss a few days of training. Like you probably weren't. I wasn't as diligent as I am now at 23. By 26, I was for sure, but not at 23.
Later. No. Yeah. When the NBA season ended and I was 22 years old or 23 years old, I took the first plane out of Dallas to Puerto Rico, and I partied nonstop the whole summer. And then I played with the national team. That helped me get ready. And then I partied again. And then I played pickup with my boys, stuff like that. And then I went to training camp, and I was in the best shape of my life. You know, I was the fastest in training camp. I was a better player than the year before. So I was like, but yeah, if I do that now, like if I do that when I was 28, 29, 30, I would have never lasted that long. You know, so I had to really focus later on. But yeah, in my early 20s, no way.
TJ McConnell told me a great story.
Yeah.
He said, so he didn't know this either, that like after your rookie season, you have to go train. So he like went back home to Pittsburgh and he just drank beer. And then he came back and Brian Colangelo called him in his office and was like, you look like a fucking linebacker. You need to lose some weight. Like what I always, and I'm sure you were this way too as you got older in your career, but like part of being an older player and being a mentor is helping guys find their routine. For everybody, it's different. Exactly. But you have to have your sort of in-season routine. You have to have your out of season routine, your training program, your schedule. Or do you have a body trainer? Do you have a basketball trainer? Do you have both? When are you getting massages? How much are you sleeping? Where are you training? I've helped a ton of guys with this, and I've talked through this. I didn't have that. I kind of had to figure that out on my own at 22, 23. But I think that's an important step for every NBA player.
Oh, no question. For me, I used to come here. I try to not play basketball for a while, but I stayed busy. I played tennis. I played beach volleyball. I go to the gym. I really, even if I was partying, I try to go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week to do weights. But yeah, I did stuff to stay ready, but not playing basketball, if you know what I mean. And then Dirk, I used to watch Dirk. Like, I was like, yo, if I do 25% of what he does, I'm good. I was like, if I shoot 25% of what he shoots, I'm gonna be straight.
He was really that maniacal about his preparation.
The craziest preparation ever, man. It was insane. We used to have meetings with him the night before games to like, yo, Dirk, you can't go to the gym tonight. You can't go. He's like, no, I gotta go get my routine. I'm like, no, we need you fresh for tomorrow. You can't go tonight. And it was always like that argument. We always had fights with him about it.
He sounds like Kobe in a way.
It was similar to Kobe. Him and Kobe used to talk a lot. They were fans of each other. They talk about workouts they did and that. So yeah, I heard a